So we've just learned that the former president has posted that $175 million bond in the New York civil fraud case. Back here with the team. What do we know about this?
Yes, this bond just hit the docket. It's underwritten by Knight Specialty Insurance Company. It's a California-based insurer. It's for the total amount, the $175 million.
Which had been knocked down from the higher amount initially.
Right. Initially, he was supposed to post a bond of $464 million. He asked for a reduction or not to have to post it at all. The appeals court said that he could post $175, which is less than half, and he had until Thursday to do it. So he's done it today, signed it today. So this is now posted. That is satisfied. So it means that the New York Attorney General's office is not going to move forward to try to seize any of Trump's assets.
Which is
very good news for Donald Trump to do this. If he had not been able to post this bond, that meant that the state of New York could start seizing his property. Now, this situation is frozen for the duration, at least, of the appeal to the Appellate Division, First Department, which is a notoriously slow court. So I think this means months of no action in this case against his property. So that's good news.
The whole idea of a fee like this, it's not supposed to be punitive. So, I mean, that was one of the arguments that was made of, well, it should be lowered because it's not supposed to be punishing him in order to be able to appeal.
No, it's not punishing him, but at the same time, there was a judicial judgment that was made. The judgment was in the amount of almost $500 million, and you have an obligation to satisfy that. There was a trial that went forward. There were proof and evidence that were presented. In the judge's decision, he parsed every single witness, assessed the credibility of the witness, talked about how the narrative of that witness furthered the cause of the Attorney General. What am I saying? I'm saying that there was adjudication of liability after a trial, and as a result of that, the system provides for you to post a bond in the amount that was against you.
So were you surprised they dropped it to 175?
You know what? I was not overly surprised, and I think it's good for the judicial system. And here's why I say that. You have a president repeatedly railing about everyone against him and everything's against me. And I think the system looked at it and said, look, let's be fair, let's be reasonable, let's give him an opportunity to have his appeal on the merits while we stop this clock of continual interest accruing. And that's what this does. The appeal bond allows everything to be stayed. He can have, that is, Mr. Trump, his appeal on the merits, and it's a system that's inviting him to give meritorious arguments as to why he should prevail, even though he lost, in the New York State Attorney General case. And if he does, it'll be reversed, and if he doesn't, it'll go as is, and that $175 million will revert back to the $500 million.
Maybe. I mean, the state of New York's argument is, look, we won this case. We should not have to chase him for the money later on if it's affirmed on appeal, as most cases are affirmed on appeal. If this is affirmed on appeal, the state of New York will take that $175 million, but especially knowing how Donald Trump operates, good luck trying to get the other $300 million or whatever it's going to be, because, he is notoriously difficult to pin down. The argument that the state of New York made was, fine, if you want to appeal, put up the money, because we don't want to have to chase you after we win the appeal, as we expect we will.
Do we know any details of what was put up for this?
Well, he has to supply cash in order to back the bond, and his lawyers have said he has the money to do that. This doesn't say specifically the breakdown if it's mostly cash or if it includes some stock. It wouldn't be the new stock for the company that he just got, because that's locked up for 6 months. But it doesn't break it down specifically. But part of Trump's argument about the harm that you were referencing was that if he was forced to sell a property to raise the cash to post a bond, and then he were to prevail or say the appeals court knocked down the judgment, he wouldn't be able to get that property back. So the appeals court, gave him this lifeline of saying you don't have to sell a property if you can come up with 175, and his lawyers view that as a victory.
All right, I think it's now time that you guys can leave. Jeff Toobin, Joy Jackson, Kara Scannell, thanks very much.